We are good.
Yep.
Yep, so am I.
Yep, we're good.
Yeah, we're good. Nope, we're good.
Nope.
My thing froze a second there. Now we're good.
Are you sure you're good?
Yeah, positive.
Absolutely positively.
I would say 99.4%.
0.4, but man, that 0.6%.
It's going to eat you the entire podcast.
Yeah.
Exactly.
What's going on, guys? You are listening to episode 29 of the recurring Bosscast. I'm Jett from SplitKick.com. Broadcasting with me from California is Jason from Inside Gaming Daily and Slick Gaming.
How's it hanging?
Also with us, broadcasting from the crack capital of the world, is Matt from Biff and Pop and the Screaming Ego.
I'd like to give a shout out to my boy, Mayor Ford.
Robbie!
Keep it PG.
Yeah, it's an interesting situation, that's for
It's
sure.
embarrassing, man.
Yeah, totally. Did you see the new video today?
I've seen a little bit of it. They were showing it on the news of him just completely cracked out of his mind, and
He's a disaster. That's literally the only word I can think of it. He's he's a mess.
So, Jason, how much of the Rob Ford stuff has hit your neck of the woods?
I feel like it's online sometimes, but I've only seen it because you've been posting things about it. So
Okay.
I don't know.
It is such a huge story out here, local news, because, yeah, why wouldn't it be when the top person in your local government is a crackhead? Admitted crackhead now. And, of course, it was just the most cop-out admission to smoking crack ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
I may have done it in a drunken stupor. Like, come on, man.
No, the best though is when he starts saying that they didn't ask him the right questions. It's like, what was the question you asked me? And the one guy's like, do you smoke crack? He's like, exactly. He's like, do I smoke crack? No, I don't smoke crack. Did I? Yes. Oh, it's so bad.
This man needs a video camera on him at all times.
Literally,
TV show.
he's had one. He walked into one. It was on him.
There is a camera on this guy at all times, which is part of the problem, because he's just an embarrassment everywhere he goes.
He is.
All the time, just randomly like running into high school kids who are smoking weed, walking in the forest by himself, and the stumbling over playing football thing, and just walking into cameras, these rumored crack videos. Well, I guess the one the police have, the one that leaked. Otherwise, Matt, what's going on with you besides just Rob Ford mania?
Oh man, I've had a crazy week. I'm on. I got vacation next week, so this week of work's been insane. So just trying to get everything finished before I go, and of course, Murphy's Law. Everything gets dumped on you in the last,
Right.
week before you go. So it's been pretty busy. I got home probably about an hour ago, and I got to work at 6:45 this morning. So or 7:45 rather. So yeah, but good news is Liza's birthday this weekend, so we're gonna go away. Taking her to a spa up in the Muskoka area, and gonna go get some massages and relax. So it's all worth it.
Sounds awesome.
Yeah,
I'm instantly jealous. I've never actually been to a spa.
Neither have I.
I haven't been very often. I think I've been once or twice. Yeah, I had a massage in Jamaica once, and then I went to an actual spa.
Have you gotten the manicure pedicure?
No,
Yet? No. Okay.
nah. My brother does that sometimes.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you can make fun of him next time you see him.
Oh,
Yeah.
What does he say to justify it?
I don't know. He's just fine with it. He doesn't really care. I make fun of him, and he just kind of laughs it off. Although, who's laughing now? Because I always have hangnails and things. So maybe he's the smart one, and I'm not.
How about you, Jason?
This past week I've been sick, so if I
no.
sound different, yeah. So that kind of sucks. But
What have you come down with, if I may ask?
it was just a cold, just like a head cold. So,
Okay.
and unfortunately Laura got sick too, but I think it's from work, or being at work, because I go in and out of the freezers so often that, I don't know, and I have to get up on ladders, so there's literally this fan just blowing ice into my ears. So it's, it's kind of sad.
It's literally blowing sickness into you.
Yeah, it's bad. Anyways, I'm feeling actually a little bit better than last week. I've actually, I've come to an agreement with myself that I'm pretty sure I'm going to buy a Wii U.
Oh, snap.
I know.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, eventually I knew I was going to get one, but I think it might be this month. So we'll see.
Wow.
2 reasons. I think I'll have a pretty good deal on it in terms of just some coupons and like discounts and stuff that I can use. But beyond that, I really, really, really want to play Super Mario 3D World.
Totally agree. I think that of the games coming out this year, including Xbox One, including PS4, the one game I want to play the most is Super Mario 3D World.
I completely agree. And like I'm willing to fork over the essentially $350 to play it. So, but I think the game just looks so cool, and I think I've been sitting on the idea of buying the Wii U for a long time, and now there's plenty of games to hold me over until the next game actually comes out, that I think it's a good time. But I think I might wait for the Black Friday sales first and then go from there. So maybe I'll get an even better deal. But,
all right.
Yeah. It's kind of like a weight off my shoulders, like, finally, I can say I'm going to get it. So.
Arguably, the Wii U might have the best lineup going in to this holiday season, ironically.
Yeah.
It only took a year, but I think if you pick up a Wii U now, you can get Pikmin 3, get Mario, get Zelda.
Yeah.
You'd get the best version of Rayman. I was playing some Black Ops 2 on that. It's really good on the Wii U. Surprise.
So, I mean, that's like, I think people are going to be like up and about PS4 and, Xbox One, of course, but I'm definitely leaning on Wii U for this holiday season. So that's what I'm going to go with.
Cool.
Anyways, what about you, Jett?
So, a couple of weeks ago, Steph invited me to this event it's related to work. And she said, oh yeah, it's going to be this eating competition with these 5 students who are eating against a former pro eater. And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, I had plans to get winter tires installed, and I ended up canceling them to go to this thing. And then just before we ended up getting there, she was like, oh yeah, it's Kobayashi.
No way!
Kobayashi!
It's your hero!
I have loved Kobayashi ever since the late 90s. I think it was that Guinness Book of World Records TV show.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He was on that episode. He set a record. And then I watched him on that one-time show, Man vs. Beast, where he was eating against a grizzly bear, and he lost. But I did some reading on Wikipedia, and in 2012, he actually outpaced that bear.
Oh my God.
He didn't challenge the bear again, but the pace he was eating those hot dogs at was faster than the bear at that time.
Wow.
Which shows how much of a monster this guy is.
That's dedication to the craft.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Kobayashi comes out, of course, big fanfare, and he's in the middle of the table. They're eating pizza this time, and it's the most pizza you can eat in 3 minutes. So, I guess the highest person that was not Kobayashi ate 17 slices in 3 minutes.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
Guess how much Kobayashi ate?
26.
29.
33.
Holy hell.
And his technique was crazy. He would grab 3 slices, stack them 1, 2, 3, take 3 bites, and then it was gone.
Oh my God. Are we talking like pepperoni pizza? What is this?
I actually got to eat one of those slices of pizza afterwards. It was just a plain cheese slice.
Oh, okay.
And also, for the record, it was a square slice. So those big rectangle pizzas, and they slice them up that way.
Mm-hmm.
So it was those. I guess that is the regulation pizza for eating competitions.
So what was the second place person again?
17.
Wow.
That's actually still pretty respectable.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. There were people on that table that only ate 4 slices in 3 minutes.
Oh.
Pushovers.
Yeah. Shouldn't even have came out.
Yeah, so, I mean, afterwards, he was taking pictures with some people, and Steph was like, do you want a picture with him? And I'm like, oh, I'm okay. And then the line died down, and she asked me again, and I was like, yeah, I gotta do this. So, went up to him, shook his hand, I grabbed a slice of pizza, and we took a picture together of us eating.
That's hilarious.
And I even noticed, like, just how much of a pro that guy is. Like, I ate the pizza, and I held it in a way where you couldn't really see it was pizza, but he had it angled just right for the camera, so you could see the whole thing.
Wow. He's pro.
I picture you two posing, and then underneath, like, achievement unlocked, it's like lifetime dream or something.
Yeah. Talking with my coworkers about it, I think that was the first time I've met someone who was actually the best in the world at something.
I don't think I can actually say I met anybody like that, so that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I can't remember any time meeting anybody like that. Not bad, Jett. Not bad.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Your life is complete.
Have you guys unlocked any achievements in games you have been playing?
Well, I haven't admittedly had a whole lot of time this week, but I did I have no idea why, but it's been installed on my computer for some time now. But I picked up Deus Ex Human Revolution.
Nice.
And I just kind of started playing that because I've heard it's good, but I've never really had the time to do it. And again, I didn't really have a lot of time this week, but I found myself playing it for a bit, and it's not bad. I, again, haven't really had much time for it, but it was pretty good. I'm not too far in it, but it kind of reminds me of a game that I can't put my finger on. It's got sort of like similar to like Mass Effect cover system and stuff. So I don't know. It's kind of cool. I have to play a bit more of it to get a full judgment on it. But another game I was playing, it's literally probably the shortest game in the entire world, and it's taken me like weeks to get through because I just haven't had the time. But have you guys ever played Deadlight?
No.
No, I've heard of it though.
So essentially, it's like a side-scrolling sort of platformer, zombie puzzler kind of thing. It's really cool. It's got a pretty good story in it, and the art style in it is really cool as well. It's kind of comic booky, sort of like static comic book style backgrounds, and then you sort of do all the action in the foreground. Again, I think the entire game is probably like 6 hours, and I've been playing it in probably like 18-minute spurts. So it's been taking me quite a while to get through, but yeah, if you get a chance, play it. It's sort of unique.
All right, yeah, I remember Aaron liking that game. His complaint was that it was really short. I think he beat it in like less than half.
Yeah, no, it's super short. I just, literally 18, 20 minutes at a time. That's how I've been playing it, so.
You're stretching out the enjoyment.
Yeah, I'm making it like a mini
Making
series.
the most of it.
Next time on
Yeah.
Deadlight.
For sure.
Things are still dead.
And possibly lit.
Yeah. What about you guys?
I've been playing something a little more cheery than Deadlight. I got the Toy Story playset
Nice.
for Disney Infinity.
Nice.
So, I mean, of the playsets that were out, that was the one that I really wanted to play. And I'm really disappointed in it, to be
Oh, really?
honest. I mean, the conceit of it is really off. It's just, like, you're on the Pizza Planet aliens' homeworld, and there are meteors crashing down, and you stop the meteors, but then after that, you're just kind of helping them with odd jobs and putting up buildings, and that's not very interesting at all for the Toy Story peeps.
Wow.
Like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure you could come up with a cooler adventure for the Toy Story cast than that.
So it all takes place in the one world?
Yes, I mean, there are multiple sections of that world, but it's just the one world. And I have no problem with it being just that one world. It's the stuff they do in that world is really uninteresting.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you're just doing mostly busy work for these aliens who want to go to a specific place, or they want you to build a specific building. There's only combat in the combat simulators, which would have helped a lot, because the other Disney Infinity playsets have combat as part of the story, but here it's not really part of the story at all.
Seems so mundane.
It very much is mundane. The only cool thing about it is that the characters can unlock a boost jump, which sends you rocketing into the air, like 10 times your height. And then they also have a jetpack, so they can fly horizontally for infinity.
Huh.
No pun intended. I mean, you can fly horizontally as long as you don't hit a wall. And if you hit a wall, then you just go straight down.
Okay.
Who are included in the pack?
Jesse and Buzz.
There's no Woody?
You have to buy Woody separately.
Are you serious?
That's ridiculous.
Wow.
You know.
Did you buy Woody? Wait, there's no Zurg? Oh,
No.
Come on, that was... That is such an easy way to make more money. I'm actually a little bit offended.
Yeah, so I tried that. We were really disappointed in it. I don't think we're going to go back to that one. I think the next time we boot up Disney Infinity, we'll probably go back to Pirates of the Caribbean, which I think is the best one.
Yeah.
I wrapped up Black Ops 2 on the Wii U. I really like that game.
Cool.
You said it was good on the Wii U.
Yeah, I mean, it plays as I would expect it on the 360 or the PS3. I haven't played those versions, but it ran rock solid like a Call of Duty game. The online was really good. There was no real connection issues. Almost every game I played had someone with a microphone on it. For better or worse, it was mostly whiny little kids.
Right.
But it felt like a legitimate Call of Duty experience, except I can also play it on the gamepad without the TV, and that was neat too.
Nice. Whiny kids in Black Ops 2, eh? I never would have thought.
Yeah, you lost me at that one.
Yeah.
Call of Duty games. It actually got me kind of interested in Call of Duty Ghosts, but then I saw the reviews and they all said that all the cool stuff from Black Ops 2 is not here.
Yeah.
And that really cooled me off on it.
One outlet gave it a 5.5.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I can't remember which one now, of course. So it takes the legitimacy of my comment completely out the window. But, yeah, 5.5.
Yeah, I've always felt up until this point that Infinity Ward was the better Call of Duty game maker. And then with Modern Warfare 3, they kind of had some issues with a bunch of their staff leaving during development. So I said, okay, fine. Maybe they'll get it right with Ghosts. And I still haven't played Ghosts, but from what everyone seems to be saying, I don't think they still don't got it anymore.
Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that clip online where it like clearly shows that they reused game footage? From
Yeah,
Call
I
of
saw
Duty
that one.
Black Ops 2.
Yeah.
And they just reskinned it. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I normally jump on Call of Duty when it comes out, but I didn't get Ghosts, and I literally have no desire to get it or play it.
Yeah, I was almost ready to get that for the PS4, and then the reviews started coming up, and I was like, no.
What about Battlefield?
It actually made me more interested in Battlefield.
Yeah. My brother's got Battlefield. He loves it. So, and I've heard lots of comparisons between the two. Obviously, you got to take it with a grain of salt because there are Battlefield 4 fan people and Ghost fanboys and whatnot. But he said he thinks Battlefield 4 is like heads and tails above Call of Duty Ghosts. So, interesting.
Well, I kind of figured that at least going to next gen, that this one wasn't going to be the Call of Duty's best foot forward because they were mostly just an incremental upgrade over the Xbox 360 versions. I think next year has got to be the year where they really kick it into high gear.
Yeah,
I would agree with that. Especially if this game doesn't perform well.
Yeah.
And then Treyarch is going to get that one, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah. Can't believe I'm excited for a Treyarch version of Call of Duty. The first time I played a Treyarch Call of Duty was World at War, and I hate that game. And then I went back and played Call of Duty 3 and thought that was even worse. So I just had this perception in my head that they are terrible. But then Black Ops and Black Ops 2 are awesome, so... A couple other things on here. I tried Gears of War Judgment, and I really hate that game.
Really? Why?
I tried the single player, and it's just not what I want out of a single player Gears of War experience at all. So, the storytelling approach in this game is very different. So, I mean, the conceit of it is that it's a prequel to the Gears of War series, and Baird is in court, and he's trying to recount some actions leading up to that point. So, you're playing flashbacks the entire time.
Mm-hmm.
The weird thing is that the entire game is broken out into small missions that are about 10 minutes long, and it's just like turning a horde mode level into a mission. So it'd be like, here's this map, it's a small map with some walls, we'll give you one objective and do that in the next 5 minutes. You complete that one thing, you walk to a door, that's the end of the level. And so, I mean, the combat and the scale of what you're doing just feels so much smaller. It feels a lot more disorganized. I think that a lot of the actual enemy encounters were very sloppy because you're not really working towards anything and just enemies are just running at you. So you're not even really hiding behind cover much and stopping and popping. It's just kind of, well, here they come and I'm trying to run backwards and shoot guys. And then from a story perspective, I played all of Baird's part, and his part basically boiled down to, first we were here, and then you shoot some guys, and then we went over here and shot some more guys, and then we went over here and shot some more guys while protecting something.
So much progression.
It really feels like the straight-to-DVD edition of Gears of War.
That should be a back-of-the-box quote.
And so after that, I just said I can't do this anymore, and I put it back on the shelf.
Never to be touched again.
2 more quick things. I've been playing Sly Cooper Thieves in Time. It is my first Sly Cooper game, and it is really fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, Sly Cooper's cool.
Yeah.
I thought I'd have issues with the stealth stuff, but that's not really a big deal. It's just a great 3D platformer with a lot of variety when you're switching between all the characters, and the story's really well done, and it's pretty tight overall. The only weird thing I'm finding is that when enemies spot you, the game can chug in terms of frame rate. I don't know why that in particular would set it off, but it's kind of distracting. But if you are sneaky, then that will...
I was just going to say, Jet, you're supposed to be so good that enemies don't spot you.
Yeah.
That's actually the penalty for getting caught. The game actually just slows down.
And the last thing, I've been playing on the subway, playing some Phoenix Wright, Dual
Nice.
Destinies. I just finished the second case before the show, and it's pretty good. I haven't played Apollo Justice and the Edgeworth game, so I don't know what innovations have been made since the third one, but I do like some of the things they've done to clean up the experience, particularly on the investigation side, where it can get... Before, you could get really lost really fast when you didn't know what thing you needed to click on or which place you had to go to talk to people, and that's all set up in a way where they tell you, all right, you need to do this thing, then do this thing, and when you're investigating a particular scene and you mouse over something, it tells you whether or not you've already read it.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Those are awesome additions.
Yeah, for sure. And then, I mean, the writing as a whole is spot on, just classic Phoenix Wright. And, like, even the very first case, just right off the bat, is full of drama and twists and turns, and it doesn't feel like a tutorial case at all.
No, it's not. Yeah, they really just throw you in.
Yeah, it's for the best, and I think for newcomers, that does a good enough job of teaching you how things go. And I just enjoy the writing, so that's fun. Jason, you've wrapped that up.
Yeah,
now,
I did.
right?
And I actually thought that the second case was one of the most dull cases. So, I don't know if you
Alright.
liked it. I mean, it's still good, but I didn't think it was as good as the rest.
Yeah, it's good. I think it was just really weird at first. Like, I don't want to spoil the conceit of it, but it starts out very, this can't be real, and you're just
Yeah.
trying to piece together how this crazy crime happened.
Yes. The very Japanese-centric crime.
Oh yeah, there's always at least one of those in every
Yeah,
Phoenix
exactly.
Wright game. Like the Silver Samurai and whatnot.
What is his name? Black Quill or whatever? The prosecutor? I think he's pretty cool. I liked him. Just like the whole concept of him is just ridiculous.
Actually, I was listening to a BBC documentary about prisoners who are actually acting as lawyers now.
Oh, really?
Because the way the law system works there, it's really hard to get a lawyer, and there are very few of them out there, so they just decided to defend themselves or defend each other
Wow.
by reading all the books in prison, and the prison now allows them to like get official like credentials for that and let them become attorneys or lawyers
Wow. That's pretty good.
while they are in jail.
Imagine it was just all based off learning from Phoenix Wright.
Of course. Well, no, because then you would have people
Man.
throwing knives at everyone else, and there'd be
It's
hawks
true.
in the room, and all this craziness.
Yeah.
So many objections.
Bazing. Yeah, you'll like the game. I think that it kind of picks up. I always liked how the Phoenix Wright games would they'd be seemingly unrelated, like the cases, but then they would tie back together. And it's way more direct in this game because each case kind of hops back and forth. But when you get to the very end, it's kind of like, oh man, this is like amazing. So it's pretty cool.
Nice.
You'll like it. You'll like it better than you like Project Crossing. Let's leave it at that.
Okay. Whew. I mean, I've been playing that game on the subway. My subway ride is about an hour, but of late I've been falling asleep on the train a lot, so I only get like 10 or 15 minutes in. So it could be a while before I finish that whole thing up.
That's okay.
You're playing that like I play Deadlight.
Yeah, exactly.
What have you been playing, Jason, besides Phoenix Wright?
Yeah. So I wrapped up Phoenix Wright, and then I'm still playing Pokemon. So I mean, I already did my review and whatnot, but I'm like past Victory Road and all that, and it's coming down to the very, very end, and now I'm debating if I'm actually going to keep playing. Like once I beat the game, if you can actually beat it, am I going to keep going? Am I going to try to catch more Pokemon, or am I just going to stop? So I'm really not sure. But I had some fun using the Wonder Trade feature, where you just like throw up a Pokemon randomly, and then someone else does the same thing around the world. So I wasn't going to be a jerk and just throw up random stuff, so I actually caught some good leveled Pokemon and threw them up there, and I was happy that I got not Bunnelbees and like Pidgeys. I got good stuff. So like someone actually gave me a Nidoking, which is pretty sweet.
Nice.
So I was like, oh man, like that's awesome. And then I'm debating if I want to give up my like when I'm done, if I'm gonna give up my team, like a Charizard or something, because I probably won't play that much anymore. But
No.
no, Laura says no, so we'll see. I don't know. So we'll see. And beyond that, I was actually able to dabble in a few Xbox 360 games, and the first one I played, excuse me, for better or for worse, was Bomberman Act Zero.
Oh my
I
goodness.
know.
Why would
I
you do
did
that? Do such a thing to yourself? You masochist.
Yeah, it's partly that. No, like I don't know. I've always had this attraction to the worst games that you could ever like play, and I think it's because I want to see why they're regarded as so bad. And this game is not that good. Like I feel like it's got a worse rap than it actually is, but by no means is it a good game. But it's so monotonous and boring, and like Bomberman should be really fun. So I feel like that's why it's so low. But I don't know, like there's so many really poor choices, not even in terms of like the artistic style, but the gameplay is just really bad. Like, so when you start, it kind of zooms in on your Bomberman thing, and like it orients you so like you're looking at your Bomberman, but then the camera always jumps to like the classic overhead Bomberman look, but like you never start in the same place. So like it'll place you in like the top left corner, and like the camera will zoom in, but when you actually go to play the game, you're like in the middle, and it's just like what? And like you're not facing the direction you're supposed to be facing. It's just, why would they make it like that? That's obviously a terrible choice. And like that's literally the first thing you do in the game, so it should tell you not good from there. But anyways, I played it for like an hour, and I'll never play it again.
If I found Bomberman Act Zero for cheap enough, I would totally do it.
Yeah, it was $2. So
okay.
There you go.
It's $1 too many.
Yeah, exactly.
Matt, what was the last bad game you intentionally bought, knowing it was bad?
That's a great question. I don't know. You caught me off guard. I have to think about it.
All right.
What would you say?
Mega Man 2, right, Jett? The last bad game?
Oh, get out of here. I bought Resident Evil 6 from Target, knowing that game is not great, but it was $10, so I did it. I think my classic one has got to be Facebreaker. It's still sealed.
Oh, it's still sealed?
It's still sealed. I got that for, I think, $3.
Okay, I was going to say I'd pay like $5, maybe.
I got that when Blockbuster in Canada was closing down. I hear they're finally closing down in the States,
They're closing down in America.
R.I.P. Is it all closed down now, or are they just kind of liquidating stuff?
I think they're still open, but they're getting rid of everything right now.
Okay. Because when that was happening in Canada, I raided pretty much every Blockbuster in the GTA and got a whole bunch of sweet deals on games.
Yeah, I probably should do that.
And that's how I've amassed a whole bunch of games for the 360.
Yeah. I know they've been steadily closing them like throughout the nation. So I know one of them closed here in California a few months ago, and that's the only one I actually knew of. So I don't know if I'll see any more. But it's a store of a, I don't know, lifetime past. Well, anyways, beyond Bomberman, I actually started to play a game I wanted to play, and that was Hunted: The Demon's Forge for the 360. It's okay. Laura and I played it together, and it's kind of weird. I remember people describing it as the Gears of War meets like RPG sort of game, and it's not bad. It just, I don't know. I think we didn't give it enough time yet, so we'll see. Maybe it gets better, but I just thought that the cameras were kind of weird and the controls were kind of clunky, but I don't know. It's a little bit older of a game, so.
I feel like I've seen Aaron play that on Xbox Live at least once. Mm-hmm. And I see that game all the time in the Walmart clearance bin.
How much?
$20.
No. Not worth it. I think I got mine for like $8 because it was a used one, and I mean that's a fair price. I bet you it gets better because there's some depth with the combat and your leveling up and customization, but you could do that in so many other games like better. So why play this one? What is unique about it? And besides co-op gameplay, there's really nothing else going for it.
I hear you.
Might be another bust.
Collector's item, maybe?
Maybe. It's Bethesda, so I mean, like, that's a pretty big name. But beyond that, like, I'm really not sure it's going to be much of anything.
Fair enough.
Bomberman Act Zero, though, collector's item. No doubt.
All right, so let's move into our Bosscast topic of the week. We are on the eve of the next gen.
Whoa.
We've got the PlayStation 4 coming out this week, and next week the Xbox One is coming out. So it's probably a good time to talk about those systems, everything leading up to this point, and our future dreams and ambitions for both of these platforms going forward. Let's start with the one that's coming out first, PlayStation 4.
Oh, man.
So that's coming out November 15th, $400. When the PlayStation 3 was first introduced, they made all sorts of mistakes. It didn't launch very well.
No.
It was $600, the whole 6-axis fiasco, and then I think people ran into like all sorts of software issues with that. I hated the firmware updates basically happening all the time. Yeah. No party chat. Developers were complaining that it was too hard to develop for. And then when they had their big reveal a couple of months back, they basically said, oh yeah, don't worry about any of that stuff. We fixed it all. Yay! Mm-hmm. And I think since then, they've been riding a very positive momentum leading up into this launch because it seems like they've done everything right.
Yeah, I would agree.
Well, I think it helps too that Xbox
did a lot of things just addressing those issues. I think that's a great start, but beyond that, I feel like they're writing publicity right and just making all the right steps for gamers.
Yeah.
Matt, you had said something.
Well, there? No, I was just saying I think it helps that Xbox did a lot of things wrong to start out, which really sort of boosted them.
Yeah, so we'll get to that in a second. I mean, leading up to this, I was curious about the PlayStation 4. but wasn't really... I had all my eggs in the Xbox One basket, or at least whatever the next Xbox was. And then I saw what Sony had to offer, saw what Microsoft had to offer, and then I saw the prices and went, yep, I know I'm going PS4 this time, at least at launch. They did a really great job of selling me on that system in terms of the improvements with the hardware and the new controller, and hey, we're actually listening to you guys. We're not going to put DRM in this thing, and also it's $100 cheaper than the Xbox.
Mhm.
Yeah. I think the $100 that's the crux right at the very end. That's going to push people over, I think.
Yeah, for sure. Some of the big games coming out at launch for this thing, Killzone, Shadowfall, Knack, and Resogun. Matt, are you picking up any of those with your PS4?
I've been looking at Resogun. Resogun looks awesome. Have you guys seen anything about it or heard anything about Resogun?
Yes, it looks like 3D Defender.
Kind of.
Yeah,
And
that's pretty much what it is.
Everything is pixels. I was watching an interview with the guy, one of the developers, and he said that there's over 10 million pixels in each level. And at the end, when you beat the level, everything sort of disintegrates and all the pixels just like fall everywhere.
Oh,
And
that's cool.
It's kind of probably more of a demo of the processing power of the unit than anything else, but it's sort of reminiscent of like Super Stardust Delta meets, I don't know, like 8-bit Super Stardust Delta or something. But yeah, looking forward to that. I was obviously looking forward to Watch Dogs, but we all know what happened there. Yeah, and I think I may be getting AC4 as one of my first
cool.
ones.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I still don't know what to play, man.
Yeah, that's kind of my thing too. I don't really I've got my pre-ordered PS4, but I have nothing to really play on it.
Yeah, I've even got the second controller. I've got a DualShock 4 in my hands right now. I've used this thing, and it's great. But I don't know what I'm going to play on it other than Sly Cooper.
Yeah.
And even Sly Cooper doesn't fully work on this thing. So I'm playing it, and then the motion control parts come up, and I have to sync a DualShock 3, and just for that part, and then plug this back in. Yeah, I guess right now it's 2K14. I was kind of thinking maybe Call of Duty, but yeah, that didn't review all that well.
Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of it's really weird. Like, I'm really excited for the system, but I really have no reason to be. You know? That's strange. Plus, they have a giant, well, not giant, but fairly big day one patch, which adds some pretty big things to the system that otherwise would not be there.
So what is in there? I glanced at that, but I didn't really pay attention.
Okay, so I guess first, I mean, the big one is it adds Blu-ray playback, which, I mean...
that's, yeah.
So, I mean, if you don't have internet, or if you're not connected to the internet or whatnot, or for some reason you get your console shipped to your cottage, you can't play Blu-rays until you download the patch, which is very weird.
Yes.
Things like, what else? Remote play for the Vita. That's not installed. You have to download that in the patch. Second screen. So using your Vita like a second screen, similar to Surface and Xbox. The recording, screenshots, and all that kind of stuff. That's all integrated in the patch. Plays you download. That's part of the patch as well. So a lot of really big, like party chat, multi-log-on feature. A lot of big stuff.
I'm fine if that download and installation process is quick.
Well, it's 300 megs.
The Wii U.
It's 300 megs, and they said that once a certain part of it downloads, you can then play games and let it download in the background. So
we'll see. I'm having nightmares of my first Wii U experience where I was so excited I got that system, I hooked it up, and then I had to wait for almost 3 hours for it to install that update.
Yeah.
Guess I'm going to sleep tonight, yeah.
Well, like you figure, it's not really based on your internet connection, it's based on the fact that there's probably going to be millions of people all vying at the server to get this update, so it'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, we should also talk about some of the bad things that have come out about the PS4, for instance. I mean, PlayStation Plus is now required if you want to play online multiplayer. That was a big sticking point for hardcore PlayStation fanboys who didn't play Xbox at all, that were like, we can play internet for free. Yep. And now you can. Not play internet for free. Play online for free. Now you can't.
Yeah. I don't know if that's entirely that bad, though. I mean, it does kind of suck that you have to... Sony is forcing your hand to, pay that, but I feel like you're going to enjoy the service as a whole once you get it.
Is it the same
So
price
for the
as it
people
is right
that
now?
like didn't want to fork over that money, they're definitely going to see the benefit and be like, I was wasting my time before. I should have had this.
Yeah.
Sorry, Matt, you were saying?
Sorry, no, I should say, is it the same price as it was on the PS3? PlayStation Plus?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I believe it's the same, yeah.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, and that makes it a lot easier to swallow in that PlayStation Plus gives you all sorts of crazy deals and free games. And the free games that you would get will more than make up for the price you are paying.
Yeah. Well, I mean, realistically, even if you download one AAA title, that basically pays for it.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
And what else? It doesn't play audio CDs anymore.
I know.
People make
And-
audio CDs?
But that's because of the Music Unlimited. They want you to use their own service.
And there's that whole, is it DLNA
Yeah,
that they took out so that you can't stream stuff from your computer?
Yeah.
Oh, that stinks.
so it doesn't support media servers.
That kind of stinks as well. I've heard rumors from places that they're going to patch that back in, but who knows?
I hope they do. I mean, I don't know.
I remember reading online that it doesn't support external hard drives.
This is also true.
Yeah, that kind of sucks. Just because that was one of the things I would use it for most was just, if I had saved TV shows or something, I could just plug it in so much easier to my PlayStation than the Xbox.
Yeah, I mean, you can still upgrade the internal hard drive, but
Right.
I guess it's easier to just sort of plug and play. But
Yeah, going forward. I mean, Matt, you've got a pre-order for it. I've got a pre-order for it. Jason, do you have any plans to get a PS4?
I want one, and I want a PS4 before an Xbox One, but no plans as of right now.
All right.
and plus you're scoping out the Wii U.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think that's a bad way to go. I think if you were going to get a Wii U, now's a pretty good time.
Mm-hmm.
In the fact that, there'll be a ton of supply for it. There'll probably be deals on it, too, because stores don't want to keep that thing around because no one's buying them. And there's probably enough games to justify having one at this point.
Exactly.
And then you'll get it just before the big rush of the new Donkey Kong game, the new Mario Kart, new Smash Brothers.
I know.
So on and so forth. Yoshi's Epic Yarn.
It looks amazing. You know what? Why are we talking? Let's just talk about the Wii U. What?
You'll also get to smile and laugh at everybody in line waiting for PS4s when you go pick up your Wii
I should do that.
U.
Go to GameStop and be like, "Oh, I'm just getting a Wii U, suckers."
You should ask them to put your Wii U in a PS4 box.
Yes, I should.
Just make everybody mad.
You should stand in that launch line for the PS4 and the Xbox One and say you're just going to buy all the Wii U's and try and flip them on eBay.
People look at me like, I should. No, I'm actually really curious about, if I should do that or not. Go there and just walk in with that. It's going to be like that time I went and everyone got Portal and I got Mortal Kombat.
For sure. That would be funny, going up to the cashier asking on launch day that you want the Wii U, and they're like, "Are you sure you want that one? Or didn't you come here for a PlayStation?" No.
No, what are you talking about? PlayStation.
One other thing. My big concern for the PlayStation 4 is whether or not they've finally gotten the firmware side right.
What we'll see on day one.
I guess we will. In terms of, do things load quickly? Does syncing trophies a pain in the butt? I never did sync trophies. I found that a silly process.
Yeah, it was silly.
I think we get cross game chat now, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And do we have to update this thing every 3 minutes? That type of stuff. Also, hopefully PlayStation Network doesn't get hacked again, because that was the worst.
Yeah,
Yes,
that would suck.
That would be terrible.
Although we all got free games at the end.
True.
Yeah,
Worth it?
What cost,
Probably not.
man?
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, we'll see on day one. I think the fact that we can start downloading the updates and play over top of them helps. I don't know. It's interesting. It's starting off at system update 1.5 or something, so we'll see how high it goes.
Have you guys had a chance to play the PlayStation 4 yet? Because there are some stores that have the demo units now.
No, I've not seen a store with one.
I
know.
How about you, man?
Nope. I have not.
So,
You're the only cool one.
Yeah.
if you come by my neck of the woods, Matt, the Target that is here now has a PS4 demo unit.
Man, Target has everything.
No, they do.
You walk in, everything's just there. Yeah, I'm definitely have to make a
the
trip.
cheap games, they've got the PlayStation 4 demo unit out. I played Octodad. I should have said that I played Octodad.
I was
I think-
Octodad.
It's pretty neat and weird. It's like, do you guys know the game Quap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like that, and just the controls for moving are really weird because you have to control each limb individually. But it's a really funny premise, and it's really goofy watching him just bull over everything as he goes.
I like it.
So I'm excited for that one.
I think I saw a picture of you on Facebook playing that. Or somebody was playing that.
Yeah, it was
Steph was playing it, yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. I've run into a PlayStation demo unit twice now, and the only thing I've seen on it was Octodad.
Clearly pushing the
What else are they
limits
gonna
of
put on
next-gen
there, I
hardware.
guess?
All right, let's move on to the next-gen system hitting the market later on in the week. Not later on in the week. Later on. The Xbox One, November 22nd. This one is $499, but it comes with a Kinect.
Yay!
Yay! But it's a new improved Kinect.
Yay!
Also, it's got an HDMI port on the back. Also, TV.
Yes, lots of TV.
When they first revealed this system, I was super excited for it. Love Xbox. And then they just proceed to completely alienate me from wanting that thing ever. Before we even talked about DRM and Kinect being mandatory and plugged in all the time, it was just, they hyped this thing up as anything but a video game machine.
Yeah, exactly.
And I tuned out.
Yeah, and I think it says something that you went in hardcore Xbox and came out hardcore PS4.
For sure.
So,
Yeah, I think that people, well, at least I've been forgetting that, they marketed that box towards anyone but us. And, I'm looking at the list of games here that we have on our outline, and I think that the Xbox One is a cooler lineup of games, but, if no one's going to be there to play them, if they're just going to be watching football or, doing anything but playing games, and I want to play online, I don't know. I might as well go to the system that actually caters towards me.
yeah. I think it'll be interesting, too, to see what the market for this system is going to be coming out of the gate. Whether gamers are going to go for it or whether it's going to be, are they going to sell more units and less games because they're not focused on it? Or are they going to sell the same amount of games? What's the Xbox Live community going to be like? Xbox won the last generation in the community, hands down. But yeah. I don't think they're going to have that base. They basically hit the ground running. They had a bigger base from the get-go. But they're not going to have that this time around. So it'll be interesting to see how they pick it up, if they pick it up, or just in general, who's buying the system, what sort of demographic they're hitting.
Matt, you said that you were curious if they would sell more systems and less games. I think that's a good point. I wonder if that's Microsoft's whole outlook on this, if they're just trying to get that system out there because that's their platform for so much in the future, and then games just are a side note.
Yeah.
And if you look at it that way, I kind of feel like that's not quite what I want, but it's still cool. But I think that maybe is what Jett sort of sees, and it's this isn't for me, this is for the collective population, I guess, of entertainment seekers. And so, yeah, I feel like that, again, is another strike against it, and I want to go to the PS4.
I think a lot of it is just the marketing. When you look at the specs of those systems, and I know there's been a lot of fanboy wars about the PS4 being more powerful because it can run Call of Duty in 1080p and the Xbox One's at 720p or whatever. But they're more or less identical systems that probably could do the exact same stuff. It's just Microsoft's approach to marketing this thing is so much different than Sony, where Sony's we want to give you the best game machine. And Microsoft says, we want to give you the best multimedia platform.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm just not interested in a multimedia platform or the fact that I can snap to The Price is Right and play Crackdown 3 at the same time.
It's actually funny because of the Xbox One is being marketed as a, all-in-one sort of machine. It has both an HDMI out and an HDMI in on the back of the console. Mm-hmm. So you could theoretically daisy chain a PS4 into the back of your Xbox One and then use the snap features to snap an Xbox game to one side and a PS4 game to the other side.
Do it.
So, yeah. These are the weird thoughts that I'm thinking right now about the HDMI in. So, yeah.
Anyway, so it's also got the Kinect. Oh, we should talk about all that other stuff that they've since reneged on everything. So there was DRM, which was supposed to be in there. You had to be online at least once every 24 hours. They pulled that out. Then they pulled... What else did they pull out of that thing? Mandatory Kinect, they pulled that out too. It wasn't going to have a headset, but then they put one back in. Mm-hmm. There was... I'm missing at least one other thing.
Well, there's all the features that went away with Always Online.
The family sharing stuff disappeared.
That was pretty cool, but nope, that's gone.
Yeah.
Even the few things they had that were cool are gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I kind of wish that I know we talked about it earlier, but I wish that they had kept those in, because then it would have felt like there were two drastically different boxes that you could buy. And, I mean, I feel like, yeah, with all the features the Xbox One is giving you, it is somewhat different than the PS4, but ultimately they're the same thing, like Jett had said. So I kind of wish that they kept that in. I mean, what if it was amazing? And now we won't know. We'll have to wait a whole other generation.
I think that if anything, they should have gone all the way with it. Like, if they were going to try and make essentially Steam, just make Steam.
Mm-hmm.
Go all digital. There are all sorts of reasons why they wouldn't, but if they had just gone all the way with it, I think people would have taken it a lot better than this halfway solution of you still can buy discs, but it doesn't really matter because it's all digitally locked anyway and all that stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of against all digital anyway, just simply because in the States it's a little different, I guess, Jason, you'd know, because your bandwidth isn't as capped as ours is, right?
Right, yeah.
So,
well, I mean, I guess, I don't know what Canada is, but yeah.
Well, like,
yeah.
For instance, I'm on a plan that allows me to do something like, I don't know, 120 gigs a month. And to download, I think I put this on Facebook not that long ago, to download Call of Duty Ghosts on Steam is 66 gigabytes.
Oh my god.
Right? So, I mean, downloading games just isn't an option for some people. So
yeah, my plan is actually even lower than that. And I think it was Killzone that they said was 50 gigs or something in that realm. That's like over half of my internet for the month.
Yeah, exactly.
So it just makes no sense for me to download games when they're that huge.
No. I remember blowing my bandwidth out of the water when the Steam sale was on. And yeah, it was crazy.
No, I didn't even know that was an issue, but I mean, that kind of sucks. I'm sorry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we are going to be in a disc-based world in Canada for at least a little while longer.
Yeah.
Which is good for you, Jett, and your Target sales.
Yeah, for sure. Oh,
well, it's good for you, too. Well, I mean, Jason, with your game collecting, right?
Exactly.
So
I'm
you
all
got to
for
have.
it.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the launch lineup for the Xbox One is a little stronger because they've got some more exclusives on their side. Like Forza 5, Dead Rising 3. For me personally, I really, really want to play Killer Instinct. After playing it at Fan Expo, I was really impressed by it and want to play more of that. But, yep, Xbox One exclusive, and I don't have the 500 bones for that system. Or at least can't justify it.
Yeah, for sure.
And then just huge news from Microsoft, them getting exclusive rights on Titanfall forever.
Yeah, that's kind of big. I mean, a lot of people
really
are psyched about that game.
Very big. I was really psyched about that game too, and I was thinking to myself, well, I'll just wait for the PlayStation 4 port. And I guess now I'm just going to play it on the 360.
That's pretty funny.
Not the same, but if I got to get it somewhere.
I mean, would you think Microsoft's outright purchase of that is them being in like panic mode for Xbox One?
Well, they've got to do something, I think.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think, would you guys argue that Titanfall is arguably their most promising property right now?
Yeah.
So, I don't know, maybe they move to lock it up real quick, and they're hoping that that's going to drive system sales.
Dude, if that game sucks, they're going to be so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to that one, and that would have been definitely a game changer for me in terms of what system I ultimately got if it was a launch game. And I think for me, like, in spite of everything that Microsoft has done to this point, if Titanfall was out at launch and they were the same price, I would probably go Xbox One.
Really?
Even with all of the other things going on for PlayStation, just because of my past affinity with the Xbox brand. But it's not. So, PlayStation, here I come. And I think eventually I will get an Xbox One, but it won't be for a while.
Yeah, I feel like I'm in that same mind frame.
Wait for the exclusives to stack up to a point where it makes sense, and maybe after a few price drops, do it then. Or when they put out the eventual Kinect free version.
The Xbox One Mini.
That's going to happen, right?
Probably.
Yeah, I would say so. I mean, Nintendo made a 3DS and then a 2DS, so anything is possible. Xbox One half.
My $1 million question for the Xbox One. It's a two-part question. Well, it's two questions.
So they're $500,000.
So, yeah, $500,000 question one.
Yeah, five. Can they overcome the $100 price difference? I think at launch, it's not going to matter. The hardcore Xbox fans are going to buy it no matter what.
Yeah.
But then after that initial run is through, I'm curious to see what happens then if people who are a little more not as serious about which platform they go with the PlayStation 4 because it's $100 cheaper. One of my cousins, different cousin, a little older, also still plays Call of Duty all the time. He's in high school now, and he's only known Xbox. He's always played on an Xbox 360. And I asked him, like, what system do you plan on getting at launch? And he's like, oh, I've got my money saved up for a PlayStation 4. Ooh. And I was like, what? Really? Because he's never played maybe he's played the PlayStation 3 somewhere, but definitely not at my place. And he was like, yeah, the $500 is not worth it to me.
Interesting.
So I will go with the PlayStation instead.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's an interesting point, if he's going to do that.
I think it has a lot to do with, like, gamer tags and all that stuff too, right? Like, if you've invested the time in one system, you're almost... They've done it in a way that you're almost bound to that system. You know what I mean? Like, if, who wants to start again and, on a different system, but I don't know.
I don't know. Like, if we had to, as a Wii U owner, if I had to leave the Miiverse behind, I don't know what I'd do with myself. So many friends on there, so many great posts. I have made some amazing doodles that kind of look like penises, but they're not really, so that they don't get censored or moderated out.
You're going to make them get rid of that feature like they did with SwapNote.
Yeah.
What's your other $500,000 question?
So there has been, I guess some people would just say outright fact, that the Xbox One is a weaker system than the PlayStation 4. How much does that impact its games going forward?
I don't think that impacted at all.
I would like to think the same thing. I mean, the Xbox 360 was the weaker system.
Yeah.
Arguably, notably more weaker than the PlayStation 4. And if anything, the Xbox got better versions of third-party ports because it was easier to code for.
Yep.
And I think that they'll probably work towards the lowest common denominator in any case.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it'll only be games like a Killzone or an Uncharted that are really pushing the power of the PlayStation 4 to its limit.
Yeah, that's true. You have to look at it from a technical standpoint as well. Like, you would get better frame rates at 720p than you would at 1080 if you're upscaling, right? So they could essentially get, the highest frame rate they can at 720 and then upscale it to 1080 with clearly, very, depending on the size of your television, you're not going to notice the difference between 720 and 1080. So if you get better frames, say they got 10 extra frames or 15 extra frames a second by upscaling, that could make the experience better. Who knows?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, no, I think that's probably all it's going to be is just kind of the lesser of two awesomes, like whichever one you want.
Yeah, I think I will probably end up with an Xbox One eventually. I think in the last few years of having all the systems and being platform agnostic, that having that luxury is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
So I would like to get to that eventually, but right now I will go PlayStation 4 first.
Yeah.
Agreed. You just reminded me that I'm not going to be able to buy every game now. It's kind of frustrating.
Whatever, you will get, I don't know, the Wii U version of Call of Duty Ghosts, which will work mostly fine except for no DLC. Or at least I'm guessing no DLC. And only 2,000 people playing it online. But you know what? As long as you're playing Team Deathmatch, you are A-okay.
There you go. Problem not solved at all.
You will get the Miiverse. I'm surprised that Microsoft and Sony don't have some sort of Miiverse equivalent on their systems.
Don't worry.
Maybe it's just too quirky. Maybe it's just too quirky for them, but that's the best thing about Nintendo Online.
What about PlayStation Home?
Yeah, I was going to say, PlayStation at Home.
Yeah, whatever happened to that? Is that coming to PlayStation 4?
I hope not.
I hope not, too. I hope it's a PS3 Home, and that's it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, we didn't even talk about the potential Gaikai stuff and the power of the cloud, the infinite power of the cloud.
The cloud? But I mean, not even, I don't know. I feel like that's a feature that's not even there yet. So if we're just talking about launch stuff, that's, I don't know, speculating, forecasting.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll probably be another patch for you. Firmware update.
Which systems do you think is going to sell for higher on eBay in the resale market?
Xbox.
Yeah, just because of the main price point.
Even beyond that, if they were the same, I think Xbox commands more attention for maybe the non-in-the-loop person. So I think they'd pay more for that.
All right. So before we wrap up the show, do you guys have any final thoughts on these new systems, or even the Wii U for that matter? Let's talk about all the new next-gen systems. Yes, I'm calling the Wii U next-gen.
Well, it is, so.
I can't stand that argument of, oh, the Wii U's not next gen. Next gen has nothing to do with power and everything to do with the time it was released.
Yeah, I totally agree with that statement.
Yeah. Last thoughts. I think bringing up Nintendo and the Wii U, I think this will actually be a pretty good time for Nintendo. So, and not that people are just going to flock to Nintendo like I am, but I think that maybe this might be the year for the Wii U, because it wasn't last year, really. So maybe people will see all the choices. I mean, you essentially have a $200 disparity between the Wii U to the Xbox One with the PS4 in the middle. And as a consumer, just, for Christmas season or whatnot, that could really play in Nintendo's favor as well. And I think, like we said earlier, they have the lineup, and the lineup's not quite there for PS4. They're a little bit more for Xbox One. So I wouldn't be surprised if Nintendo makes a, bit of a steal, and they kind of cut into some of that expectation.
For sure. I can't wait for Super Mario 3D World, because Super Mario 3D Land is amazing.
Yeah.
And it looks like more of that, and you can play as Toad and float around. Not Toad, Peach.
And there's a cat suit, Jett. There's a cat suit.
There is that as well.
Yes.
I don't know. I just picture myself getting my PS4 and then sitting in my living room and like nothing is playing. Just like tumbleweeds blowing across my living room.
The lights aren't even on. You're just staring at it. Still in the box.
What do I do with it? Yeah.
I actually have plans of taking time off of work to just binge on the PlayStation 4 when I ultimately get it from Amazon.
Nice.
So go ahead, Jett.
Because of shipping, I don't know when I'm exactly going to get it, but I think the moment it does show up in the mail, I will book off like the next 2 days after to just go into a really dark place and just binge.
Like I said, I'm on vacation next week, so it comes, in an ideal world, it ships to me on the Friday that I'm off, and then Eliza is going away to the States on Saturday and Sunday, so I literally have 2 full days to myself to play PS4 if it comes.
Yeah.
So, we'll see. Here's hoping. Fingers crossed.
And meanwhile, maybe Jason will have his Wii U by then, just playing all sorts of awesomeness.
Earthbound.
Are you gonna get it? Are you gonna get it before Mario?
Yeah, I'd say that's my driving force right now. But I think if I get it before that game actually comes out, I might actually just get the other Mario Brothers U and maybe Pikmin. So we'll see. Which are 2 good games to hold me over, I'd say.
Oh yeah.
Oh, for sure.
So we'll see.
If I could recommend any other ones, I'm looking at my collection here. You might want to try... Oh, you've played Sonic already.
Like, I don't have, like, Zombie U. That could be fun.
I'd pass on that.
Oh, okay.
I'd say if you were to go... I would go Rayman over Mario.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. That's a good choice.
Rayman Legends over New Super Mario Bros. U. For sure.
We'll see. The world is my oyster, as they say, I think.
All right. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Pretty much any gaming platform you have or aspiring to get this year, it's a pretty good year to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess next time when we're back, we will all be playing our new toys, and we'll talk all about those.
Hopefully. They've gotten shipped.
Fingers crossed. But until then, what do you guys have going on? Matt?
Man, I'm on vacation. I'm not doing a thing next week. So,
Sweet.
Nothing coming up.
He's getting, spa treatment and massages.
Yeah.
That mani-pedi. You gonna get your back waxed as well?
Maybe. No, I'm generally hairless, but that's okay.
Fair enough.
And you, Jason?
Let's see, by the time this comes out. So last week I posted an article which has been getting a cool response on Slick Gaming about why Pokemon X and Y are the best ones that I've played and the most popular since, like, the very beginning. So I kind of analyzed some things that the games have done and what they haven't done and what they added. And so that's pretty cool, so you can check that out. And then I'm doing more Game Hunters stuff. So I have the next video is already lined up and ready to go. And the second part of the Game Hunters Journal, the written aspect about collecting different generations of games, is also coming out. So this new one is going to be about collecting the previous gen, which is, ironically enough, going to be the gen that's right now when you hear this. But yeah, so that's pretty cool. That's all going up hopefully within a week.
Cool. All right. On splitkick.com, I'm still working on something for Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies. I've admittedly struggled to try and articulate the start of this article, but I think I've got something now.
Okay.
I find that, I don't know about you guys, but I find that writing the first paragraph is the hardest.
Oh my god, yes. It's horrifyingly hard.
I'm looking at this. I have scribbled out here 3 pages of opening paragraphs that I've ultimately scrapped, but I think I know where I want to go with it now. And once I get that first paragraph down, the rest just comes super fast.
Exactly. I mean, absolute same way. Because you got to be clever, you got to be witty, and you can't just say like objection because like everyone does that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't have any sort of Phoenix Wright witty puns at the beginning. On splitkick.com, you can check out Jeff's new Nerd Culture Rising talking about the death of Blockbuster. And there's Kirk Plays. He's now playing Advanced Dungeons and Dragons Treasures of Tarmin. He's on part 2 of that as we speak. And then a whole bunch of Splitkick Plays videos. So Jim has played and recorded all of his time with Typing of the Dead, Overkill.
Nice.
I played that for about half an hour on the PlayStation 3. And this was before I got a PlayStation Move. So it kind of sucked really bad. But now that I have a Move, I should try that out again.
Wait, I was like, they don't have Typing of the Dead on Move?
House of the Dead, Overkill.
Okay, cool. I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah, that game... Actually, that is one of the best. In terms of... It has the world record for the most F-bombs in a video game.
There you go.
Yeah, there's that. And then on In Third Person, you can check out some stuff I've been writing about, well, my Black Ops 2 review, and I wrote about my impressions of playing the DualShock 4 on the PlayStation 3, and I really like that controller, so I tried it out with a whole bunch of different games. So if you want some more detailed impressions on how that controller feels and works, go over there.
Nice.
Also, don't forget to listen to our friends at the Rocket Jump podcast, where they were talking about... Jim was talking about hating Pokemon.
What? Wait a minute.
Among other things, so, yeah, you might want to listen to that, Jason.
Yeah, apparently.
Maybe Jim's just doing it wrong, I don't know. I haven't played a Pokemon game either, so... I don't know, Aaron seemed to be in defense of Pokemon, even though he hasn't played it yet.
Because Aaron's awesome.
And of course, you can email, or on Twitter, you can find us at JetLandicho, at JJasicki, at Maddie Lang, at SplitKick.com. And I guess I screwed this up again. You can email us at bosscast@splitkick.com. So until next time, happy gaming on your new PlayStation 4/Xbox One/Wii U or whatever hardware you're getting. Woo!
Yeah.